Hey, what's going on guys? John Shea here with the No Shame Income vlog, and today I wanted to do a video talking about Facebook retargeting and setting this up with Clickfunnels pages. Now this tutorial I will be talking about setting up basically retargeting and give you guys some examples of how I would go about doing this. But again, this would apply to really any website or any page. You could do this on WordPress, or if you're using another landing page builder, it does not have to be specific to Clickfunnels, but that is actually what I'm using. So I'll give you guys a little bit of an idea on what I'm doing with that, since many of you out there most likely may be using Clickfunnels for selling your products or services. So let's kind of get down to the basics here, and before we really dive into this pretty deep, I do want to remind you guys, if you're new here on the channel or a returning visitor, don't forget to throw me a thumbs up on the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit that bell notification, and I'll be releasing new videos each and every week. So first, we're going to start out with the basics on this. I'm going to walk you through some examples of different ads that I've actually created for retargeting, and then I'll show you kind of the setup of how you could do this for yourself. So let's dive into today's video. All right, so we'll start out with the inside of Facebook Ads Manager. Now, I'm not going to go through like the real basics of like how do you get Ads Manager set up. You can literally go online and Google Facebook Ads Manager, and you can go set up your own account if you are brand new to this. But I'm assuming if you're looking to do some retargeting, you've probably been doing some stuff with Facebook ads already. So what I actually did is I created a specific campaign that's actually going to be used for my retargeting. Now, I actually kind of break my stuff down. I have it sort of set up in such a way where I have what I call a commit phase, a connect phase, a commit phase, and then a close phase. So my close phase is basically where I do a lot of my retargeting. So C3 stands for my close phase, C1 would be like my connect phase, C2 is my commit phase. So it's kind of, I'm not going to get into the other phases, but basically what we're going to be focusing on is that close phase, the retargeting, where we can actually get some extra purchases off of people that have possibly looked at our stuff in the past. Now, for many of you, if you've gone around the internet just about anywhere, you've probably seen Google Ads. So if you went on Amazon.com and you looked at a lawnmower, and you now go to this other news site, now you see that lawnmower like following you everywhere. You see ads for it and all of this stuff. And that's exactly what retargeting is. So you have the ability, you can actually do this with Facebook. So if somebody were to visit your blog or a course sales page or some type of piece of content where they didn't take action or they didn't move to that next step, maybe they didn't purchase something, you could actually run an ad to try to re-engage them with something that is actually going to convince them to move forward and actually make the purchase. So I'm going to give you guys some examples of how I've done this. So we're actually at the campaign level now, and beyond that, I'm going to go into the ad set level. So I actually built ad sets for each of these, and the reason that I did that was that you can actually basically set up specific budgets for each of these. So this is one that I haven't run in some time, but we'll give you guys an example of how I set this up. So I wanted to have 5 different retargeting ads for a single online course. This was basically a course teaching people how to go out there and do digital marketing. So I came up with 5 different things that I could do for retargeting. So 2 of these would be testimonials, and the other 3 would be talking about, first off, what are you gonna actually get when you go into this program? Like, what's the inside of the members area look like? What is the software that you're getting with the training gonna look like? And walking them through actually all of that stuff, which maybe they didn't see when they were going through like a sales page or a presentation. Maybe there were some unanswered questions. This is going to answer those questions and likely get someone to potentially go and purchase. The next thing was time, right? A lot of people come up with the excuse that they don't have time to do something. I made a video and I talked about why you could actually have the time to go and execute on some of this stuff, and giving them reasons why that shouldn't be an excuse and why they should go and buy. The next one was price. A lot of people get hung up on the fact that they don't want to spend a certain amount of money. So I actually went and made another video talking about the price objection, why people might not be buying because they think it's too much money or they don't have enough money, or all these different things that they might be justifying in their mind, and how I can kind of overcome that objection to get them to purchase. So we're going to actually look at one of these as an example. We'll do the what's inside one because this one's one of my favorites. And within that, we have the specific ad. So I'll kind of walk through the ad that I created for this and how I did it, and you guys can see an example for yourself. So if I bring this up, I believe I might be able to do this in the desktop version. It's giving me kind of like a scaled. So I got to open this up. If we copy this link, I should be able to open a new tab. And this will give us like a full a full version of what this looks like, so I'm going to switch it to desktop. So basically what I did is I recorded a 5-minute video, and this pretty much just says right at the top here, not clear on what's inside the program. I got you covered. I'm sharing a glimpse of the 6-week curriculum. And then I talk about why it's good. I break down all the 6 weeks of everything that I talk about, and then I kind of highlight some of the software features as well, and then I link them back to the page where they can actually go and make a purchase. So you can see this has actually got a few views. We haven't been running this. We actually just started running this week, and that's why I thought I'd make this video. I was like, hey, this is kind of a cool topic. So what I did is I built this whole ad out, and anybody that has viewed a specific page will actually get shown this ad. So let me show you kind of how that works. If we come back to the retargeting side of this, this is all done within the ad set. So if I edit the ad set, this is where all the targeting happens. So the biggest thing here is we have to basically set up a conversion event. So that was the first thing that we wanted to do. And in this case, I wanted to tell Facebook to get me as many people as possible to go and make a purchase, meaning like they're actually buying the program. Right now, they don't have a lot of data, so pretty much I'm not getting a whole lot of traction. The reach is going to be low. And that's because there's not a ton of people as of yet that have seen this. And that's because of the way that I set up the audiences. So there's a couple different things I did here. And the cool thing about Facebook is you can actually create custom audiences. So I created this specialized custom audience called ASA Page View Webinar Sales Page. So this is basically an audience that I told Facebook to go and actually create an audience for only people that have gone and looked at a very specific page. So we ran a live webinar to our audience over this past weekend. And then now we have this in a replay sequence where they can actually go and check out a replay of that webinar on this specific page. So in addition to that, we added my Facebook pixel to this page. So I was able to basically pass data back to Facebook and say, hey, if someone visits this specific replay page, I now want to show them that ad where I'm talking about different testimonials or the time objection, the price objection, as well as what's inside the actual program, which maybe they didn't see as many details as we might have been able to go over when we did the webinar presentation. So it's kind of going to keep reminding them to come back here, reminding them, keeping them really just coming back and ultimately potentially making that extra push to get them to go back and buy. So I then send them back, if anyone clicks on that ad, I send them to this page, which we kind of call like a bridge page. It's basically a, hey, thank you for attending, here's what you get, here's where you can go buy, and then here's a ton of testimonials about all the people that have had success with this program. So what I really wanted to do with all of this was have something where it was very specific, right? I didn't want, like, if someone saw this ad and they didn't know who I was, or they didn't watch that replay, they're not on my email list, like they're not likely going to go and like watch this and then buy. Like they have no idea what it is. But these people, because they've already watched the webinar, or maybe they've engaged, maybe they watched 10 minutes of it, they have a little bit more understanding of like what this is all about. And now if they go see that retargeting ad, the chances of them to buy is going to be much higher. The other thing that I did with this, which was really important, is we have people in the past that have already purchased this course. So Facebook allows you to upload a custom audience into Facebook's system. You can basically take an email list and upload that whole thing into Facebook. So I basically went in and I uploaded the customer list for anybody that had purchased this program, and I told Facebook to exclude showing that ad to these people. So this basically allowed me to save money on, you know, like what if someone went and looked at this offer, we just happen to have some crossover, somebody saw this advertisement for our webinar, maybe they went and checked it out, and they already bought the program like a year or something, you know, a year ago. Now we won't be showing them that ad. So this is very important. And beyond that, we pretty much just opened up the targeting. So you can see here, this is like all locations, any age range, any gender, detailed targeting. And then I also like to edit the placements of where the ads are actually seen. And this is kind of debatable, but you know, Facebook always wants you to put automatic because then they're just going to show the ads like on everywhere. You're going to see it on Instagram, on the Facebook marketplace, and the video feeds on the right-hand column, all these different places, right? So what I do is I edit these placements so that Facebook can only show these ads in the news feed. Now, I know some of these other ones I probably could do, like Instagram or some of the other places here, which people may be potentially spending some time. They're always changing this as well. There's always new stuff like within Messenger. But again, I really wanted it in the desktop and the news feed so that either way they're browsing their phone or they're on their computer on Facebook. Those are the places where I think I'm most likely to get them to re-engage, have a chance to really watch that video and go back. Whereas if they were on like Messenger, they're probably not in Messenger trying to like go watch that video, right? They're trying to message people. So that was another thing I did, but beyond that, that was kind of the basic setup. It's not really much more to it than that. And then it's just really creating that ad that's going to bring them back into ultimately make that purchase. Now, in terms of setting all of this up, you're probably going, okay, well, how do I do this, right? If we come back to this page here, the first thing that we're going to want to do is on Chrome, you have the ability to get a plugin called the Facebook Pixel Helper. I highly recommend installing this, and this way you have an idea of what's actually installed in this page. So you can see, sometimes it gives these warnings, but I already know for a fact this is working. You can see the pixel ID, and then we have the code for page view installed. So if we were to install this Facebook Pixel, what you would want to do is actually head back to your ad manager, and you're gonna go up to the top left. This is constantly changing, by the way. They just changed everything in the last like 6 months. You're gonna go to Events Manager, and this is where you can actually set up, I'll just do it from scratch. This is where you set up all the events for pixels and things like that. So you're gonna wanna make sure that you've selected your proper ad account. So in my case, I'm under my John Shea ad account. And then you're gonna go to Data Sources on the left. And if you do not have the pixel created, you can actually go ahead and do that here. Let me go to I might have an account where we don't have one. This one might not have one. So kind of want to give you an idea, like what would it look like for you? And then that way, yeah, so you can see here, this one I don't believe has one. So, okay, they do have one, but basically you'll have an option here somewhere that you'll be able to pick this and say, create a Facebook pixel if you don't have one. So once you've created that pixel, I'm gonna go back to my account. You're gonna have the ability to actually go in and add this to your website. So if I click on details here, this gives me information about what's going on with my pixel. So this is activity like page views and people viewing content or adding my products to like the shopping cart, things like that. And from there, basically what we can do is if you go up to the top right, you can do setup and install pixel. And I would choose the option to manually add the code. And now they're going to give you this entire piece of code. You can literally just click this, it'll copy it to the keyboard. And as I mentioned, I would show how to do this with Clickfunnels. So I'm going to go back to my Clickfunnels account. You would actually be within the entire, I'm within one of my projects in Clickfunnels, one of my actual funnels. And you're going to go to the specific page where you want that pixel. Now there's two options here with Clickfunnels. If you want to put it on a specific page, you're going to want to go to that funnel step. And then you're going to want to go to edit that page. And once you're in the editor, you're going to go to settings at the top left, and then you're going to go to tracking code. And I already have it installed here, but you're basically going to throw this under the header code and literally just paste it in. So you can see I've already got it here. The whole code is here. And that is all that Facebook will need to track this. The other thing though that you will need is a purchase conversion event. So if we Google something like purchase conversion, Facebook ads, there's a little help guide that you could probably find right on Facebook. And this will give you the exact code that you need. So related metric, website purchases. And you can actually, there should be somewhere buried here within all of their help. You can basically get a special piece of code that you can add to your site to basically tell Facebook that a purchase has been made. So typically this would go on a thank you page or somewhere that after the purchase has been made, that's where this is actually going to get triggered. But basically you'll need the Facebook code for that. I don't know why. How to check conversion, attributed to ads. There should be a link and I probably just clicked on the wrong one. Maybe it's this one, getting started. I'm not going to spend all of my time trying to find this out, but there are standard events and custom events, but typically what you'll want is a purchase event code, and you should be able to find that here if we dig around. I'm not going to spend all my time navigating through this because I've already done this, but basically there's some code. So here's kind of an example of what it looks like, and I actually found it to some extent. This number 3 will basically have FBQ track, and then you have different metrics that will go in here. So add to cart would be maybe they're on the checkout page. So I'll give you an example of an add to cart action. If we click on claim my deal and we now visit this page, this is kind of like a cart page. So this page, we could trigger a Facebook pixel. You can see it's already on here, add to cart, add to cart. So we could tell Facebook, hey, get me as many people to go add to the cart, but obviously that's not my objective. My objective is to get them to purchase. So after that purchase event, we would have a different set of code that would look similar to this, that would say track, and then it would basically say purchase. And we would also have the type of currency, so US dollar. So you can actually look this up if you do something like FBQ track. Let me see, we'll do another attempt. FBQ track, and we'll say purchase if I can spell. Maybe it's this one. Purchase tracking. So this is exactly what it looks like. So you would want basically this code would need to go into that purchase page. So you'd have the US dollar in my case, and then the value. And this way, if a purchase is made, I think I even have an example I'll give you guys. If we come back to Ads Manager, I'm gonna change this to lifetime. So I previously ran this and we had actually one purchase event off of this, but I wasn't running it very long. I've only recently started running it again. If we close this, you can see here we had somebody, I spent $6.38, and this tracked a purchase conversion and ultimately got us for $6.38. They went and purchased a product that was $297. So Facebook can actually report that data back. So it's pretty crazy because it's like I spent $6.38 and then made $300. So Facebook can keep that data, and as you go on and spend more money and get more purchase events, you'll be able to see, okay, how much money did I spend on that retargeting to get that sale and make that money? So pretty cool stuff. If you were to also maybe needed to install like various code throughout your entire Clickfunnels funnel, I figured I would mention this. You would have to go to the settings tab within the entire funnel, and then you'd actually have to add that tracking code across the entire funnel, which you can see I've done here. So this way there's page events for literally every single piece here. So if I wanted to run retargeting off of this page or this page or this page, I could do it on any of those pages, and now the code is globally installed across this entire funnel. So that's just another thing if you had to do that. Again, it's pretty straightforward. If you're putting this on like WordPress, I would highly recommend getting a plugin. There's one called Header and Footer plugin, and literally all you have to do is install that, and then you can just insert that code into the header section of the plugin, and it will immediately put it onto your site. And now you'll have the ability to go and retarget off of any page throughout your entire website. So that's another easy way to go about it. But again, if you have any questions on this, definitely let me know. This stuff can be a little bit complex and time consuming to set up, but I guarantee you, I mean, I'm sure as you've known, you look around on the internet, you look at a product or a service, and now those businesses will retarget you like crazy and try to get you to come back to buy something. And there's definitely some psychological like buying thing that happens when you just see the same thing over and over and over and over. People don't necessarily make that decision right on that first look, right? If someone goes and watches this webinar and they go, oh, that sounds awesome, and then there's nothing there like pushing them to go and buy it, but as opposed to us saying, hey, well, here's your chance, this is what's inside, here's why you should get it, here's a testimonial, and like we're just hitting them with all that stuff, and they're constantly seeing it over and over and over, then there's a good chance that they're eventually going to crack and they're basically going to go, okay, I got to buy it, I got to get it. So it works really well. It's just a matter of implementing it properly. So hopefully you found this video helpful. If you have any questions, definitely let me know. And of course, I'm going to let you guys know I do have an ebook on exactly how I'm going out there and actually getting digital marketing clients, doing the things that I'm teaching and talking about in this video. I basically have a number of clients that pay me anywhere from as minimum $500 a month all the way up to $4,000 a month, offering digital marketing services. So if you guys want to learn more about how I'm doing some of that stuff, definitely go check out my ebook. Eventually you'll potentially see some of my courses, and then maybe I'll even retarget you with some ads. So yeah, if you have any questions, definitely let me know and leave a comment below. I'm happy to answer any questions you have on this setup.